Good morning. We'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Davis, do you have an prayer?
Sure. Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for this another day of life. We thank you for your blessings. Lord, we just take the time to thank you for the weather that we've had. Thank you for the sunshine. We thank you for the opportunity once again to gather here and do the business of the people. And Lord, that you would give us wisdom and knowledge to do it. And Lord, that you would continue to help those in the community that need assistance and that need help, and that you would strengthen all. We ask it all in Jesus' name. And everybody said,
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
March 13th. Freaking everywhere. What's going on? All right. Kathy ran for the hills already, so it's
okay. Well, that lasted long. Is that an adjournment? What happened?
I don't know. Well, just short delays. She's your fan. There we go.
She's got fans.
With that,
Sorry.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes March 6th.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion to approve the minutes March 6th as submitted.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of request for appropriation of funds,
Any comments or questions on our appropriations request? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of request for fund transfer,
Comments or questions on fund transfers? Hearing none.
Motion approved.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of approving payment of the regular schedule of accounts for various funds, moral obligations, and then and now certificates in the total amount of $718,922.49.
Any comments or questions on the floor? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of request for appropriation transfer of funds,
Any comments or questions on our transfer request? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of accepting miscellaneous reports,
Any comments or questions on our miscellaneous reports? Hearing none.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of resignation from the Economic Development Office,
We received a resignation from Dustin Souders for his position as project manager in Economic Development Office. We also received a resignation notice for the Port Authority as well. I believe that's item 14, it's two separate items. Any comments or questions? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to accept.
And I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of agreement between Washington Nile Local School District and the Scioto County Sheriff regarding school resource officer.
All right, it's a renewal. This is Washington Nile Local School District, Scioto County Sheriff, for the purpose of providing and promoting a safe and secure learning environment for students, faculty, staff, and school community by the means of assigning a Scioto County Sheriff deputy to serve as a school resource officer on a regular basis within the school district. This is on district grounds with one deputy 5 days a week, 8-hour shifts, Monday through Friday. Consistent with the school district, the amount is $104,043.27. This term starts, it was January 1 of 25 through December 31st of 25. Any comments or questions? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of agreement between Rush Township Board of Trustees and the Scioto County Sheriff regarding expanded police protection.
This is another sheriff contract, this time with the Rush Township Board of Trustees. It's for extended police protection for one deputy, 5 8-hour shifts per week for a total of 40 hours in the amount of $122,916.62 a year. That's $10,243.05 per month. That term also January 1, 25 to December 31st of 25. Comments or questions? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of equitable sharing agreement and certification between the Scioto County Prosecutor's Office and the U.S. Department of Justice regarding year 2024.
This is equitable sharing agreement and certification for 24 to be submitted to the U.S. Department of Justice. This is drug forfeiture funds as following. The beginning equitable sharing fund balance was $8,744.82. The funds spent was $3,219.91, leaving an ending balance of $5,524.91. Any comments or questions? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of memorandum of understanding between Scioto County Board of Commissioners and Scioto County Engineer and Green, Madison, Morgan, Raritan, Rush, Union Valley, and Vernon Township Board of Trustees for work performed by county employees and county equipment.
I want to thank our clerk for combining all of these, because normally these are separate items, so thank you for that. These are all MOUs with our county engineer and the counties mentioned, Green, Madison, Morgan, Raritan, Rush, Union Valley, and Vernon. And this is for trustees using county employees and county equipment. They have a great relationship with our engineer, and they've been able to do a lot of great work and expend their funds, and their money goes further with these types of partnerships. So any additional comments or questions? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of memorandum of understanding between Scioto County Board of Commissioners and Scioto County Engineer and Green, Madison, Morgan, Porter, Rush, Union, and Vernon Township Board of Trustees for work performed by a contractor.
Once again, similar MOU as prior. This is specific to contractor work performed in the township in conjunction with the engineer. Any comments or questions?
Is there a reason why Valley is omitted from 12?
I don't know, I checked it, double checked it, and
They just haven't submitted that one yet?
Okay.
no, I even checked with Ethan.
Okay,
Okay. That's my one.
good catch. Any additional comments or questions? Hearing none?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of authorizing the clerk to advertise notice to bidders for SCI CR 163-0.000 Sheer Hollow Safety Improvements, PID 118741, Federal Project Number E240506, and SCI CR 40-8.36 Rocky Fork Road Bridge Replacement, PID 119419, Federal Project E230602, regarding the Scioto County Engineer.
What was that second number?
Yeah, could you repeat that? It's backwards.
No.
The short form of that is a notice to bidders for a Rocky Fork Bridge replacement, Sheer Hollow safety improvement. So, any comments or questions? Hearing none?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of resignation from the Southern Ohio Port Authority Board,
So once again, like I already mentioned this, but Dustin Souders has issued a resignation notice from his position on the Port Authority. This does leave open on that board 2 positions. If anybody is interested in serving the port, please send an email of interest to one or all 3 commissioners, and we'll make sure we review that. Of course, you know, there's some changes going with the Port Authority right now. There's going to be a big lift in terms of stabilizing the port. I think there's going to be some more work specifically from the board members because there's not currently a director doing some of the day-to-day stuff. So if you're interested, be prepared to work and help stabilize and move forward. But right now we have the resignation to consider. Any additional comments or questions? Hearing none.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution proclaiming March 16th through the 22nd, 2025 as Red Cross Week.
Well, you gave me a
I
resolution.
know, I just saw
For Agriculture Week, and now that I'm looking at this.
Sorry
We
about
read
that.
one last week. Do you have the resolution language?
Not with me. I'd have to run in there and get it, because I have the same one.
Okay. So I would like to read the resolution. If you could grab that, we do have friends from the Red Cross with us. We have Roy, Amber, and Donna, who lost rock, paper, scissors and would like to share with us kind of what you guys are doing.
Who won?
Won or lost?
Maybe they're excited.
Maybe it's the winner.
We're gonna tag team.
All right, Amber and Roy. If you could go to the podium up there where you are.
You're on camera and millions of people are watching.
Any given.
That's the exit.
Yeah, the only one.
Yes, the millions and millions.
Testing. I wrote these things on. I'm Amber Whitley. I'm the Executive Director for the Tri-State Chapter of the American Red Cross. We're part of the Central Appalachia region. So the Tri-State Chapter covers 15 counties, Portsmouth being one of our main hubs. It's one of our 3 biggest cities in the entire chapter. Portsmouth, Huntington, and Ashland are our 3 largest. Portsmouth is our staple. We've been branching out. I've had this role for almost 5 years now. So this past fall, in October, we partnered with our friends at SOMC and the Scioto Foundation to install free smoke alarms for people that signed up through the Scioto Foundation and through our friends at the Chamber of Commerce. We sent out a flyer with a QR code where people could sign up and get those free smoke alarms. So we were able to make 38 fire alarms installed, and that made, I think it was, what, Roy, make sure I get my numbers correct
We
here.
had 28 homes that were made safer. We
Yeah.
installed 46 smoke.
46 smoke alarms, and okay, so that's something that we do year round. It's one of our biggest things. So what we do is we go in the home, we install usually 1 to 2, depending. Smoke alarms, we provide the fire education, make sure that we're not just going in and installing the smoke alarm. Anybody can do that, but we're actually creating an escape plan with the family. We're showing them what to grab if there is a fire, where to go outside and meet, and they're able to, it's a dry erase board, practice it with their families, and we go over that with them before we leave the house. So they put it on the fridge, and we have a Live Saved family here in Scioto County from, I think it's 2022, I believe, so 2022. You want to? West Portsmouth, yeah. So through that, one of the families was able to hear the smoke alarms and get out safely. So,
Wow.
yeah.
From your program?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I believe our total number of lives saved is, correct me if I'm wrong, but 112?
112. That's for everybody.
Yeah.
We've had 7.
Yeah. So it saves lives, and it's an incredible program. It's our,
Awesome.
But we're here today. Every March we proclaim March is Red Cross Month. We have National World Red Cross Day in May. But March is really the time for us to be out in the community promoting home fire safety and making sure that everybody knows that we recruit volunteers. You know, that's 90% of our workforce is from volunteers. They sign up, and blood donors. We have blood drives here, you know, at least every other month here in Scioto County. So we're consistently out here in your community, and we just want to make sure that you're seeing us, and we want to give back to this community, and we can't do it without the help of the commission, you know, so.
Very good.
Thank you.
Roy, are you sharing as well?
Yes.
Please.
I just have a couple of things to kind of provide details on or talk about the Red Cross and what we do in Scioto County. My name is Roy Grimmett. I am a disaster program manager with the American Red Cross. Same branding as far as Amber. It's the Tri-State Chapter in the Central Appalachia region is what we are. I'll go kind of reverse order, talk a little bit about the Sound the Alarm program that we have. The Sound the Alarm program we have is where we come into an area with a lot of volunteers and a lot of plans, working with local partners and try to install as many smoke alarms and make as many homes safe as we can in one day. We do install smoke alarms year-round with partner agencies, fire departments, and Red Cross or volunteers. But the Sound the Alarm that we had here in Portsmouth last October, we were able to get those numbers, the 28 homes, the 48 smoke alarms installed. Previously in 2002, Amber was mentioning about our Save Lives program. Whenever we install smoke alarms, we do the education, we do a complete sheet on diagram for the family to leave, as she mentioned, so they know to leave together. It's important to know what to do before and after the alarm goes off, so we spend a lot of time on that. The other thing that we really do is we respond to house fires. We responded to a house fire last night here in Scioto County. We had 2 volunteers here in Scioto County. They live in Minford. They were able to go to our clients, the disaster victims, in Stout. And we were able to provide that family with immediate assistance, which is money to the family at the time of the disaster. And then we were able to get them set up with disaster health services to replace prescription medication, durable medical equipment, prescription glasses. And then we also have disaster mental health and disaster spiritual care that are available to our clients. And then we have casework and recovery, and they work with our clients for a full 30 days. So if someone has a house fire here in Scioto County, we do have a couple of volunteers that can go out to it. One of our volunteers here in Scioto County is highly thought of in Red Cross National. Her name is Heather Riley, and she is a transportation and logistics manager. And she's nationally thought of, and very proud of her here in Scioto County. Other than that, as always, Red Cross, we have to mention pretty much every time we speak. If you know of anybody that wants to volunteer for the Red Cross, have them give me a call.
Very good.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah. So I have some language to read in recognition of proclaiming March 2025 as American Red Cross Month. Whereas in times of crisis, people in Ohio come together to care for one another. This humanitarian spirit is part of the foundation of our community and is exemplified by our local American Red Cross volunteers and donors. And whereas in 1881, Clara Barton founded the American Red Cross, turning her steadfast dedication for helping others into a bold mission of preventing and alleviating people's suffering. And whereas today, more than 142 years later, we honor the kindness and generosity of our Red Cross volunteers here in Scioto County, Ohio, whom continue to carry out Clara's life-saving legacy. They join the millions of people across the United States who volunteer, give blood, donate financially, and learn vital life-preserving skills through the Red Cross. And whereas in Scioto County, Ohio, the contributions of local Red Cross volunteers give hope to the most vulnerable in their darkest hours, whether it's providing emergency shelter, food and comfort for families devastated by local disasters like home fires and severe weather, donating essential blood for accident and burn victims, heart surgery and organ transplant patients, and those receiving treatment for leukemia, cancer, or sickle cell disease, supporting service members and veterans along with their families and caregivers through the unique challenge of military life, helping to save the lives of others with first aid, CPR, and other skills, or delivering international humanitarian aid. And whereas the Red Cross works diligently to prevent and alleviate human suffering, this is a vital to strengthening Scioto County. The Scioto County Board of Commissioners dedicate the month of March to all those who continue to advance the noble legacy of the American Red Cross founder, Clara Barton, who lived by her words, "You must never think of anything except the need and how to meet it." We ask others to join us in this commitment to give back to our community. Now, therefore, by the virtue of authority vested in us by the laws of Scioto County, Ohio, we do hereby proclaim March 2025 as American Red Cross Month in Scioto County, Ohio. We encourage all citizens to reach out and support its humanitarian mission. The date is the 13th of March in the year of our Lord, 2025. I will ask for a motion.
Yes, and I will give one, but I want to make a statement first. I do want to address one thing that really hasn't been mentioned, and I'm almost certain, I may be wrong, but you guys helped during the floods too. You were here on the ground, and I want to say this, and I appreciate what you did during both floods. We had two within 6 months, and when the federal government failed, I'll just say it out loud, FEMA failed in a big way. You all didn't. You were on the ground offering assistance, helping people that had been, they lost home, they lost food, they lost lodging, there was people that lost a lot there. You were on the ground. You did the hard work. And this really proves where the grassroots efforts of volunteers in your organization is shine through. And I know in talking with our EMA director, he had nothing but glowing, wonderful things to say about your organization, because you were the ones who stepped up when nobody else did. And I want to express my extreme gratitude, profound gratitude, and on behalf of the board, because I know we talked about this, for what you all did. We often think about it's all about blood, and it's not just blood. It's sweat and tears too. And very much appreciate all your efforts. Thank you. And with that, I make a motion. Yeah, I'll make a motion to adopt this resolution gladly today.
Now second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Hi. Now, I don't have the official resolution, but would you like a picture with the folder? And we will get to the official resolution. We'll come down to you. This should be in the middle. All right.
Thank you.
And like I said, we'll get you the official resolution for now.
Thank you.
One, two, three. Hold on. One, two, three. Got it. And I will say, in terms of the Red Cross, in '97, when my family was impacted by the flooding, I remember Red Cross bringing around supplies and meals. That was back when I was in high school many years ago. So definitely appreciate all of your hard work. With that, we are at the end of our agenda. We do have a 10 o'clock hard stop for a bid opening, and then we can always get back to questioning. But in the meantime, we have 5 minutes. If anybody wants to jump up and have, you want Todd done? Hey Todd, you got 5 minutes, so now I can cut you off in 5. Good.
I got you the estimate. He cut us some big.
Okay, thank you for that.
I have something to mention. I got a voicemail from someone, and I couldn't make out the name at all. I haven't had a chance to call. I want to think that it might be in response to our letter. ODNR, Division of Wildlife.
Okay.
I had a gentleman that I've called, and we've been playing phone tag as well, so I don't know what news he may or may not have for us, but they have reached out to this office.
Like I said, they're not,
Richard,
That-
something.
The last name
they're
I couldn't get.
still stonewalling us. I mean, it's,
Okay.
you know, but our goal is, I've committed, the guy gave us, he cut me some slack on this to $2,135 to deliver ours that we had already committed to. He took $1,000 off. Then he cut for the vets again. He made us an offer of $3,400 delivered for the 500 more trout. So I mean, he's helping us with everything he can do, but we're going to get stuck buying them. I mean, it's whether we get like it or not. We're just asking you guys to help us on that. There, I mean, it should have been over 5,000 his part. I mean, he's cutting us the best deal he can cut us. And, you know, with the Earn Right kids coming and stuff, we didn't got a choice. I mean, maybe you'll get the state, but I got my doubts.
I resorted to begging this morning, so I did. I was literally on the phone with ODNR saying, look, we need 500 fish. That's all we need. Please.
You know,
That's what we need.
I want to thank the guys too down at Lowersville. They put us a new dock in that'll hold 12 wheelchairs. So we'll be able to fish off that dock.
That's good.
And they did a nice job of that. So that's what I wanted to bring you that estimate. And, you know, he's done us best he can do. I mean, he even cut me $1,000 off of our price. You know, so this guy's is a 78-year-old vet, and he's trying to get back. He's not trying to rip us off and stuff like the other, you know, I mean, they're not trying, but they got prices and they want you. They want X amount of dollars. Thank you, guys. Just wanted to.
All right,
Thank you,
Todd. We'll definitely take this into consideration. I know we're all playing phone tag, so depending on how that plays out in the next week.
Well, we just, you know, they got the fish. That's the thing. They got 85,000 fish.
Yes,
If
sir.
you look up their thing, they actually they're putting them in private ponds for certain people.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
If you look where the fish is going.
Follow the fish.
Follow the fish, Kathy. Just keep swimming. All right. Todd, thank you for that. We have 2 minutes, so I don't know what anybody might have that they want to ask or otherwise, or if Darren wants to entertain us with a song.
Song and dance.
I'm glad you're here.
It has to be a short
Do
one.
you have an update that you can provide in a minute and a half while we wait for the bid opening? I know you act like you don't like to talk, but
I don't like to talk.
okay.
It's because that's how I act. So we do have, the Senate, version of the House Transportation Bill came out, yesterday. There's still $1.5 million worth of funding, for the, Interstate 73 corridor from Toledo down to Chesapeake. So I think that's noteworthy for us. Of course, that corridor has been discussed since I was in high school. But that would be a game changer for our area. So I know that Representative Pizzulli has worked hard to get that in. I appreciate the work in the Senate with Senator Johnson to keep that in as well. So, something could happen there. So the preliminary study, look forward to that. Of course, Rails and Trails, and Scotty, you've been the lead on that. As far as the Rails and Trails work, trying to work on a grant application to get federal dollars for that. So another game changer type project here in the county. So I think those are the 2 big ticket items. And then of course, I will vouch for the High Public Works Commission. That is up for renewal on the ballot in May. So that's vital to our area. Scioto County has really benefited from that. A lot of our infrastructure has been subsidized with public works funding. Of course, our countywide paving project that we do is subsidized. We usually get a little over $1 million a year of grant funding. And then our office, once it's authorized by the commissioners, our office works with the city, the villages, and the townships to disperse that money, and it's one big project. So how's my minute and a half?
You're at 10 o'clock, bid opening.
Okay, good.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. So this bid opening today, so we have 3 different things we're open for. Concrete, bulk concrete, just bulk delivery, aggregate, and also emulsion products. So we do this to try to get an economy of scale. So it's like a bulk bid. So,
And this impacts the townships as well,
yeah, it does. So,
and city agreement as well.
well, actually, this is really just for us.
Okay.
Really, not this stuff. Some of the other stuff that we do as far as like our pipe orders, salt order, things like that, that does affect the other folks. But this is really just for what we use at the county.
Perfect.
What are we doing first, Amanda?
Well, they don't really have specifics.
Potluck?
Yeah, some of them do and some of them don't.
Thank you. Unless you want to hear about the bid openings for the engineer's office.
Talk about concrete.
We
Thank
will
you
get
very
you the
much.
official.
Yeah, that's fine. We've,
Take care. Have a
thank
great
you.
day. Thank you so much
Thank you all so much.
for all you do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so in the matter of bid opening for the concrete and grout materials, aggregate materials, emulsion, cutback, and primer materials regarding the Scioto County engineer, and this is for the concrete. And this one is from the Wells Group.
I'm sorry?
Wells Group.
Okay, so this is from the Wells Group. So I'll read off each class and the price per cubic yard. So class QC1, $220.00, 220.00. ODOT 510 grout, $245.00, 245.00. Class QC2, $230.00, 230.00. Class QC3, $235.00, 235.00. Class QCFS, $265.00, 265.00. Class QCMS, $255.00, and 0 cents, 255.00, and LSM 100, $170 and 0 cents, 170.00.
And this bid is for Latham's limestone.
Glad Paul's here to walk instead of me. All right. Okay, so this is from Latham Limestone out of Latham, Ohio. So this is be for the aggregate. So this is not concrete. This will be for aggregate. I've got it open, so I'll go ahead and read it. And then what I'll do is we have several bids. We get delivered stone to our outpost and also Lucasville. I'll just read the Lucasville just for brevity. If anybody has any questions about any others, we'll answer that or whatever. So this is delivered to our Lucasville garage. And this would be dollars per ton. So number 2 limestone, delivered price of $17.50. Number 4 limestone, $19.00. Number 8 limestone, $21.00, $21.00. Number 9 limestone, $17.00. Number 10 screenings limestone, $17.00. Manufactured limestone sand, $17.00. Ice grits limestone, $17.00. And number 57 limestone, $20.00. Would you guys like a class on what all these numbers mean? Anybody? A spec review, we could do that.
I just know the pricing's going up.
The pricing's, yes, the concrete's about double what we were paying pre-COVID, a little over double. And then the lump aggregate's not quite as high. We're probably looking at roughly 30 to 35% increase from what we were pre-COVID.
What stands out to me is the increase in these prices since my days back in the construction business.
Yes. Oh, yeah, it's the inflation has hit everything, but the construction industry's been hit as well, so. Okay, so this bid, this is for concrete. This is Towpath Ready Mix out of Lucasville.
I hate to ask you to repeat that, but I can't.
Towpath Ready Mix.
Towpath.
Yep. Out of Lucasville. Class QC1 is $190.00. Grout, $205.00. 5,000 PSI, $205.00. Class QCFS, $240.00. And LSM 100, $120.00. And that's the price per yard.
So we're going to do the other aggregate,
Okay.
and this is from Heidelberg Materials.
Okay, so this is this is an aggregate bid. This is Heidelberg Materials, also known as plum runs, what they're commonly known as. Okay, and I'll do the same here. I'll do the price for delivered to Lucasville. Okay. So this is Heidelberg Materials, and the price delivered to Lucasville per ton. Number 2 limestone, $17.00. and 80 cents. Number 57 limestone, $20 and 0 cents. Number 8 limestone, $23.50. Number 9 limestone, $20.85. And number 304 limestone, $17.50.
And this is emulsion, and it is from Marathon Petroleum Company.
Okay, so this is an asphalt emulsion bid from Marathon. This is the material that we use for our chip seal and also for our cold mix asphalt. Okay, HFMS2, $2.12 a gallon. AE200, $2.33 per gallon.
And the last one is asphalt materials.
Okay, this is our emulsion bid from Asphalt Materials. They're out of Marietta. HFMS2, $2.14 a gallon. AE200, $2.29 per gallon, 2.29. Permacoat 250 patching grade, $3.99. Permacoat 200 paving grade, $3.74. CCPR-1, $3.04, 3.04. And MWS-300XL, $2.44, 2.44. That's it.
All right, thank you for that. With that, we'll entertain a motion to refer to the engineer for review and recommendation.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good one.
We are open for questions, items on agenda. Any items on agenda, Bill? Yeah, absolutely you need to go up there. Your adoring fans will want to see you.
Well, unlike Engineer LeBrun, I'm not a singer. As far as items on the agenda are concerned, could you explain a little bit about exactly what the equitable sharing agreement and with the prosecutor's office is?
Sure. When there are drug forfeitures, the federal task force, anything like that, anytime there's drug forfeitures, there's so much money that goes into that kittle. Well, so much of that comes local. So that is the agreement, and then they also have to report on how much they spent out of that amount.
And if you notice,
Makes
it's not,
sense, yeah.
if you notice, it's not a whole lot.
Yeah, unfortunately, I saw that number. It's like, that's incredibly low. But anyways, I don't know
Okay,
what
yeah.
goes into it.
I've covered you guys for a long time, and for whatever reason, that I had no
Yeah.
clue exactly what that is. So
I would recommend talking with the prosecutor about that and ask him his thoughts and
And really their use.
what the percentages are. I don't know.
I know what they use it for now that I know what it is, but reading that, I just wanted to clarify it was all. And sort of in conjunction, there were several memorandums, contract agreements, excuse me, with some townships for sheriff's services. The amount that's submitted to you guys, does that cover just their cost, do you know, or?
For the sheriff's office?
Yes.
Yeah, so within those contracts, you'll see payroll benefits, some equipment training, vehicle. So yeah, that number comes from the sheriff's office, and kind of it's an all-inclusive of, hey, if I'm putting somebody out there, what's that person costing, kind of in totality.
Okay. Thanks, Matt. That clarified some things. Am I allowed to ask a question off the agenda at this
As
point?
long as there's no other questions on agenda, anything?
I think they're all off, but let me look real quick. On agenda, Lori McNelly asks, will another person be hired in the Economic Development Office in light of today's resignation?
Laura, that's a great question. Yet to be seen. There's been no decisions by this board in terms of what really economic development even looks like in Scioto County going forward. I think we still have to come to grips with the reputation damage that we've received, be it through the Port Authority, really through the director. Port Authority was the avenue, but also Economic Development Office. So we have not had that discussion. Economic development is going to have to continue, of course, but in terms of what that looks like, is it going to be the same as it was? I'm going to guess probably not, for the very sake that there's probably developers out there that are going to want to avoid certain organizations for a little bit, for nothing else than when they Google Scioto County economic development, there's going to be some very damning reports out there that's going to give folks that want to invest in our community, that's going to give a pause. I mean, that's just human nature. So Lori, great question. Will somebody be doing economic development eventually? Yes. Will it be hired by us? Maybe. That's something we have to figure out.
I have one more on the agenda. Melissa Bennett asks, will you maintain the SOPA board or dissolve it as you have other boards in the county?
There's no real discussion to dissolve the SOPA board. There's still activities that have to happen within that board. There's bonds that are maintained and kind of flow through that board. Keep in mind that the board members currently on there, 2 of them are brand new and have yet to go to a board meeting. So let's give them an opportunity to fix what's there. We have the ability to add seats, take away seats, to dissolve. I don't know that I've ever looked at that language. I don't whether or not you would dissolve that board, but there's still work and still funds that flow through there. So I don't know what the value of that would be. Are they going to be the economic development driver? Probably not, because they still have to figure out their operations.
To kind of piggyback off, was that the final question on the agenda?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
To kind of piggyback off Ms. McNelly's question, have the commissioners or the Economic Development Office received any offers of assistance from other counties' economic development offices while there's a kind of a down period?
I've had a couple directors reach out to me, Jackson County, Lawrence County, saying, hey, if we can help, let us know. It's been a very informal, they're aware, and I think everybody in this region's aware that it's not county economy, it's regional economy. So they've been gracious enough to reach out. At this point, there hasn't been any real discussion of what that would be, but there has been some reach out. Even some past economic development directors have reached out saying, if you need help, let us know. I think we're still trying to reeling from the current events and getting a footing of what it looks like.
Well, I know the office in Lawrence County and Scioto County worked really well together, a little while back when it came to pure cycle development of that industrial corridor up there.
And we work well with Jackson County too, with the JDISO board and some of the money that flows through Sam Brady's group. So we have some strong partnerships in the region. So we appreciate them reaching out.
Okay, and just off the agenda, the week before last, I asked about the pure cycle bond issue that was stated was necessitated, the reinstatement of Robert Horton with guardrails, back into his spot as director. And there's some confusion amongst some members of the public as to exactly what would have happened had he not been reinstated. And I'm sorry to ask, I know it's been a long meeting so far, but could you please reiterate those potential consequences, for clarity's sake?
Yeah, so we had the opportunity to sit down with the attorney from SOPA last week. It's the first time I've ever had a conversation with him regarding this issue. The best that he shared with us, there wouldn't have been a financial impact to the county. The issue at hand was really between the bondholder and Pure Cycle, who is on the hook for the bond. Because the bond originally went through SOPA, SOPA still had to sign off on it. They're basically renegotiating the deals of the bond. It's convoluted, and it's really between those two parties, but because the bond flowed through SOPA, they still had to sign off on what these two entities were coming to an agreement with. So we did ask the very pointed question, had this not happened, what was the impact to the county? And to my surprise, he said really not. There wasn't a financial impact. Yes, you want to be a good partner. Yes, you want to move these things along. Long term, had SOPA just sat there and did nothing ever, could they have been sued? Yeah. But in terms of the county liability, it doesn't seem like there was a liability there.
And I would just like to comment too, Bill. I made it very clear that my decision to call him back was because of this discussion and prompting that we would be in certain dire straits financially, through the county would be. And during that meeting, he said something that kind of brought that topic open. And I asked him point
He
blank.
mean Mr. Horton?
No,
the attorney.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
And I asked him point blank, because of the opening of the subject, I asked him, I said, a lot of my decisions have been made, fearful that we would, go get into trouble financially, maybe even go into fiscal emergency again, which is something I never want to happen again. And it was quite disheartening to be told that there was no potential threat like that. And so it's very disheartening to me, very upsetting to me that the information I was receiving was that it was doom and gloom, dire need, to have him back in there to do this, especially the Pure Cycle. That was one of the main things. So really don't know what to say about it.
And I understand that.
If I wished I had that hindsight. I wished I'd had that information, but as he said, I have never had the opportunity to speak to the Port Authority attorney, nor would we really need to, but I wish I had.
I spoke to him the other day. He seems to be a very forthcoming person. He had contacted me about making sure the public knew about the meeting schedules coming up and everything. He was a very, very forthcoming person.
And he was very helpful at the meeting the other day and very open to helping get SOPA, the board, back on track, get them settled, back on their feet again. Very appreciative of him being willing to do that for us.
And thank you for your candor on that matter. And kind of last question, follow-up and everything to that. Did any of the commissioners speak directly to Mr. Horton about this need to be back in his position regarding this bond?
I did not.
I mean, directly to him.
I did not.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that was part of it, and Commissioner Coleman alluded to that, and Commissioner Powell did as well, is that we were led to believe that it was going to be major financial catastrophic damage that was going to be done. And as Commissioner Powell said, would they eventually, if SOPA didn't take action, if we didn't have a full board, we didn't appoint a board, could we be dragged into a lawsuit eventually? Yeah, that could happen eventually. That's fiduciary duty stuff that we're responsible for appointing, basically. And if they don't have a full board or they can't conduct business, they could come back on us and loop us into that. at some point. The actual structure of the bonds, you know, that's more of a Port Authority question, exactly how that's structured. But, because, you know, we weren't part of that. But the other part of it, the other piece of the equation, it wasn't just about Pure Cycle. It was about Benistar too, and the bonds for the spec building. You know, we did support that one, and that's one we are on the hook for. And if that work isn't done, if bills aren't paid, I think what part of the problem was is that you had two people that could sign checks, okay, on the Port Authority. And both those people are gone now. And he was one of them, and with him not there and this work not being done, you have to pay bills, you have to pay bonds, you have to pay the county. The county has an outstanding loan with the Port Authority on this spec building that has to be paid. So with that, none of that was being done without a second signatory. Now, could the Port Authority have met and done something? There was a lot of turmoil during that time, Bill. There was a lot of turmoil, and that was the conversation that was had. So I hope that answers the question. There was a lot of conversation. I think the main concern was is make sure the business continues, and to try to keep it as, you know, as close to making sure bills are being paid on time, making sure that payments are made, making sure that bonds, and all of that, just to make sure that that business was being done. So I hope that helps.
That does, but it kind of begs another question in that Mr. Horton was suspended from his position, and evidently there was some kind of discussion with Mr. Horton after his suspension and his guardrails were in place that prevented him from talking to any of the commissioners or county employees. Would that be an accurate statement? Because that would have been a violation of the guardrails that were put in place by, you know, two of the county commissioners.
I'd have to go back and look at the guardrails. I don't know that it was specific to not being able to communicate with the commissioners.
And it's not an accusation.
No,
it's
I'm
looking
just
for clarification.
And I understand. So the clarification, it was no interaction with county employees, county equipment, county property, without first having a conversation or running it by our clerk. As the employer of record, of course, we would still have the ability to talk to Mr. Horton if we needed to call him back or get any sort of update on maybe a project that's kind of outstanding that we didn't want to pull any of the other employees into. So I don't think the guardrails mention no contact with commissioners, in fairness.
I'll go back and check, but that's what,
Okay.
I know there's been a lot of different
Understood.
actions.
And I would have to
it
go
could
back
be
and read it.
That could be my mistake.
I'd have to go back and read it. It's been a bit. It's
Okay.
been about 3-4 months at this point.
And just hearing Kathy's answer and hearing your answer, Brian, I've covered Mr. Horton since he came here in print journalism, very favorable articles on how economic development worked and the things that they were doing here in the county. And I heard the pain in your voice. And I know you've been a commissioner longer and things, and you've dealt with a lot of the numbers and things over the years. And if you can't answer it, I understand. But from a human side, do either of you, or do all of you, any of you, feel betrayed by being misled on this issue?
I will say yes, because even as far back, you know, as the Benistar project, getting that up and going, and I know that we've talked about it before. Everything that was like brought to our attention when things needed, you know, if something was coming up, there was always that in the like not a threat, but if we don't do this, if we don't do that, you know, there was always that hanging over your head. Well, you know, we will suffer financially, and so as I've said, my role here, since I took over from my husband, is to protect that legacy where they got out of fiscal emergency, keeping our county sound. That is our job, is to make sure we keep the finances in good standing. And since COVID, things have been rough and hard, and we've had some assistance with ARPA and different things. But when you're told that, you know, if you don't pursue this or this or this, you know, there's the chance that we could go be put in a position where it would be a financial win for us. And so, yes, I do feel betrayed to a point, because I made a lot of important decisions, you know, with that in mind. It's just unfortunate.
Thank you. Any other commissioners?
Look, I would say the hard part for me in all of this is the projects that happen were good projects. Like, that's the frustration of it for me. Like, the Benestore project's a good project. The EMAS, it's a good project. The betrayal is you have a good project, and then it's potentially soiled by this other stuff that's happening behind the scenes. It's not visible, and then you know, people taking potentially advantage of their positions of power, positions of opportunity. You know, if you're the person building stuff and you can sway things seemingly in your direction, that's the betrayal. And it's not just a betrayal to this board, it's a betrayal to our taxpayers, it's a betrayal to our community. We now have to figure out what economic development looks like in Scioto County, and here we are again, circling the drain on something went wrong in economic development. And so it's not just a betrayal to us, it's truly a betrayal to the community. And, you know, folks that are involved, you know, I hope it's over soon. I hope that everything comes to light and we can move past this. But unfortunately, justice is slow. It's not always swift. And I know there's been some pretrial hearings, and who knows what comes out from some of that later. But that's the real betrayal, is now we get to sit here and figure out, okay, how do we mitigate what was a good project? And people are going to be looking at Memphis like, see, those are good projects. I mean, genuinely, like, there's people working out there right now taking care of their families. How it got built, and what, you know, that's the frustration that I have.
And that's why I've always asked for clarification.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate it.
Commissioner, do you have a comment?
Yeah, I'll say this. There's been a lot of things said in the public sphere. I don't think I would use the word betrayal. I would use the word regret and sorrow. We are finding things out now that we may not have known then. And some of it, you know, our own eyebrows raise. You know, it's kind of like, wait a minute, this isn't exactly what we thought. But then again, as Commissioner Powell said, a lot of it was exactly what we thought. They were good projects. They are good projects. And there's been a lot of good work done. And my concern, look, there's an ongoing investigation, and I've determined myself that there is a time and there is a place where there will be answers. And we have to let the people who are doing that investigation do their jobs. And they are doing that job. And they're doing their jobs. And my concern, my regret is that, yes, economic development has been damaged profoundly in this county. Now, can it be resurrected? We did it once, we'll do it again. But this is a big one. And this is gonna be hard. It's gonna be very hard. But I don't want it to be lost, the fact that Scioto County has come a long way, has come a very long way. And there are things that have happened, these projects, other places, the development of the corridor, which was mentioned earlier. I think, Bill, you even brought it up about Haverhill, prepping it to be more shovel-ready. The Pure Cycle project, which is now just really getting its legs and taking off. There's Scioto County people working there. The collaboration between Scioto County, SODI, JEDISO, the collaboration, OVRDC, the work that's been done on that front. Where the people that have been talked about today, and not necessarily by name, but people that were involved, did some really, really, really great work. You just mentioned it. You've covered it for, years now. 10 years, over 10 years. And possibly before that. But good work. I mean, solid work. I think about during COVID, the work that the Economic Development Office did to save so many jobs during COVID. In that, we were able to collaborate and work together to use CARES Act money and ultimately use ARPA money as well to, help companies save their jobs, save their businesses. That all funneled through economic development. That was a huge effort. And those were personal stories. Those were individual property or business owners that there was blood, sweat, and even tears shed during that time. And anybody that's ever owned a small business knows what that's like, and it's hard. And they were able to do that. My concern now is moving forward. We've got to move forward. We had so much momentum going, and really, there are still people looking to Scioto County. There are people wanting to come here. And with the development going across the state, we are uniquely positioned. We are. I would say we're in the donut hole. I mean, we really are. Logistically, we are in a great position. 500 to 600 miles, 3/4 of the population of the United States, all that stuff. It's there. We've done a lot of hard work, the commission has, the board, to get funding for infrastructure, to get business parks developed. I mean, 5 years ago, our business parks were full. We didn't have any buildings. We didn't have anything. There was nothing to sell. There was no product. So all of that was being worked on. All of that was in place. Now, and here we are. And we got to figure this out. And we got to figure it out quick, because there are people that are still interested in coming to Scioto County. There's too much progress that's been made to allow this to dampen our efforts over the next year, 5 years, 10 years. We can't allow that to happen. So it's our job as commissioners to drive that and to work with our partners, the city, elsewhere, all of our regional partners, to move that forward. And it's going to be a whole, it always is. It doesn't matter. You can have a 20-ton elephant on your back, and we do and have before, but you still got to move forward. That's all there is to it, and you got to work together to do it. In this area, in rural Appalachia, you got 2 20-ton elephants on your back. So we have to move forward, and we have to move together. So that's my big concern right now is what's the plan? What's the plan? And to be honest with you, there isn't one right now. And we need one now, and we need it fast. Because our partners are actually reaching out to us saying, what's the plan? They're not seeing it as dead. They're like, Scioto County, come to the table, we're ready. Let's go. So they're not seeing this as dead. So let's get it done. I encourage my co-commissioners to let's have those discussions as soon as possible, because we've got to move this ball forward, and we will together. It's just time. It's timing, Bill.
Well, God be with you in
I
your
like to
decisions.
circle back from what he said. We've all discussed it here, the good things that economic development has done. Many years of good work. And I do consider it a betrayal. I had faith in a person and a department, and because of the good work and everything that I had seen, I had no reason to doubt it. And then, being told that, if you don't do this, it could cause dire effects towards the county finances and so forth. And so I made very important decisions, and I have been under scrutiny because of my decisions based on what I knew. So yes, I do consider it a personal betrayal to some degree, And as he said, and also a betrayal to the county. But it does hurt. I mean, the situation is grave, the charges are grave, but it still hurts to think, you know, that you have you put complete faith in someone and then things like this can happen. It's just hard to wrap my head around it. It's hard to come to terms with it.
Well, I was asked you guys for clarification about things. I want to offer just a bit of clarification. My concern as well was just the sequence of events that took place. I mean, not that you needed my opinion or anything, but I've covered you guys forever. And I show up at as many meetings as what I can. But when you see the events that in a timeline that have taken place, and you kind of have an indicator that there's an issue here or a problem, and then the director of those agencies picks up without commissioner's knowledge, according to the commissioner's statements at the meeting, and moves offices to a rural location at a private garage in a rural area. Those are the reasons I've been asking my questions. Just, again, to try and cut down on gossip and misinformation out in the public. And sorry to take up so much time today from these folks, and you as well. But again, I'll reiterate, God bless you guys, and I pray and guide you with your decisions.
Appreciate you, Bill. Thanks so much. Mr. Leaf.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to come here and ask some questions. I really appreciate it. Ms. Coleman, I know that you've answered a lot of questions this morning. I only have one more for you. Whose advice specifically were you relying on to make those decisions at that time?
Well, the Pure Cycle, the way that came about was that we had put the guidelines in effect, and they were very rigid. The situation with the Pure Cycle came up. The SOAP attorney had showed up for the meeting.
Mr. Woodbine?
Woodside.
Woodside.
Mr. Horton couldn't go in.
This is in September.
Whenever that,
I can't remember.
September, October, it was one of those.
Mr. Horton could not go in. One of the board members had showed up and left, and apparently they had gotten a hold of Commissioner Davis. Mr. Davis puts the phone call in to us. We were sitting here, and we had revised the guidelines so that he could go in. And so that's basically the urgency of that situation came through the phone call, because they had called Commissioner Davis in, or called him and told him the situation, and he had to make phone calls to get board members back in so they could all go in and take care of business.
Just for clarification, you're saying it was the SOPA board that had called?
I can clarify that.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. So what happened was they had a scheduled meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Robert had been advised by his attorney not to go in the building. I don't know where the ambiguity was as far as the clarification of the guardrails. I don't know why, but they just felt, I was told by Robert that he didn't want to go in the building. Okay. At that point, as Commissioner Coleman had said, one of the board members had came and left.
Which board member was that?
Mike Payton.
Yeah, I
Mr.
think it
Payton.
was, yeah. Of course, Robert wasn't there, Mr. Horton wasn't there. The attorney was there. I was
The SOPA
contacted.
attorney?
Yes, I was contacted by Mr. Horton, who said that they had to do the business. I think that particular night was the bonds for, there was some fiduciary stuff that needed to be done for Pure Cycle, also to approve payment of checks for spec building. I'm not 100% certain. It's more maybe a Patrick Woodside question, but that it was urgent. And we did talk about this the other day with the SOAP attorney as far as the urgency that they needed to do that business. There was fiduciary duties that needed to be done at that meeting. It was falling apart. at that point, I called Mike Payton and told him, I asked him, I told him, I said, look, there's fiduciary duties that need to be done. Would you return, get that business done, just get it done? He said he would, and he came back. And then I did talk to the attorney afterwards, who was very happy that they would have a quorum.
Is that Mr. Woodside again?
Yes, it is. And that was it. That was it. They did business that night. What the extent of that business was, I'm sure their minutes would reflect that. You'll have to get with them. But that's what happened.
But it came across as the most urgent.
Oh, yeah, it was
Most
definitely,
urgent
if it didn't
situation.
happen that night, everything was gonna fall apart, and it was very, very bad, and yes, that's what was communicated to me, and that I expressed to the other two.
So, I'm sorry, I have one last question on this subject. So Mr. Woodside counseled Mr. Horton, and Mr. Horton got in touch with you, Commissioner Davis,
I
and
don't know
presented
what
it.
the order of events were, he was there, the attorney was there that evening.
And at
yes.
the time, Mr. Woodside was suggesting that it was a problem as well.
Oh, yeah, oh, definitely, he was, yes, he was very upset that they were not meeting. That there was that risk that they weren't gonna have a quorum. Because he drove all the way here from Cincinnati, you know, for that meeting. There was other members that promised to be there that night that did not show up.
But just recently, Mr. Woodside has changed his opinion.
Not on that meeting.
Not on that meeting.
Yeah. I don't
But he
know.
said there wouldn't, now he's saying there wouldn't have been any financial jeopardy to the county.
Yeah, so I think you have two different,
Yeah.
I think you're conflating two different things. So the night that we're talking about was while there were guardrails in place.
Mhm.
The phone call that happened was, am I allowed to go into the meeting, because they were still meeting over, so that was permitted. So he was still on leave with guardrails during that meeting. I think later, probably additional speculation or whatever you want to call it, pressure, because he was not brought back then, he was still on paid administrative leave. I think that probably happened, and you'd have to look at the time frame, probably a month or so later, he was
Yeah.
brought back full duty. So the full duty wasn't directly connected to that meeting.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
Yeah,
the
no.
duty. I'm more asking about how it was presented to the
Yeah,
commissioners,
I don't
by the
know.
Port Authority.
Yeah.
My last question then, who's currently on the SOPA board?
Sure, so, and I want to be fair to the board members, because two of them have never been to a board meeting, so they have nothing, no connection to any of this. So Ryan Brown was appointed in December, I believe, after the resignation of Mr. Davis, Nathan Davis? I think that's right. And then Donna Daniels was appointed in January after the resignation of Tony Journey, which leaves us with two openings, both a result of Robert and Dustin. Of course, Robert removed from the board and Dustin resigned, and we accepted that today.
And in August 2025, what did the board look like then? Do we know?
You're asking me?
I couldn't hear you.
He's asking what the board looked like in August of '25. I don't know who would have been on the board then.
Tony Journey.
Tony, Mike, Dustin, Robert, and I think Nathan had probably resigned by then. I'd have to look at the file, Scott, to be
Okay,
sure on
I
that.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right. Katie?
Good morning.
Morning.
So just to follow up, I think I kind of got lost in conflating the issues as well. I thought that you had stated, as Commissioner Coleman, excuse me, that there was immense pressure about the fiduciary concerns and the potential for dire straits, and that led to your decision to bring back Robert Horton without guardrails. Is that what you were saying?
We had guardrails in place.
Yes, ma'am.
Then they were revised. There was another guardrails, and it seemed like with everything that was happening, and with the need to get into the office, to be able to get to the records and do what they needed to do to take care of business, that it just kept becoming more and more difficult to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, gotcha, okay. And then who, you mentioned that there were 2 people that could sign checks for the Port Authority. Who were those 2 people?
Yeah, so Robert Horton as the director of the Port Authority, and then Dustin, who was the treasurer, I forget what his official title was, the Port Authority treasurer. So they both had signators. So right now, it's my understanding no one has access to the Port Authority checking account, banking account. I think that's being handled probably at their special meeting. They're going to have to reorganize and assign that and get with the banks, but it was those 2 individuals.
And that's what Attorney Woodside
Yeah.
has offered to help take care of that situation, so that they can get their new signatories on there and
Right.
get back to business.
Gotcha, perfect, thank you. And then potentially my last question is, I'd like some information on the Finders Network LLC. I'd like to know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Commissioner Davis, I think I'm looking at you.
Okay, so I've said this once, and I'll say it again. There is a time and place
Mhm.
where answers will come. There's a open investigation,
Mhm.
okay? And now is not the time, and now is not the place for that. So with that, I'll not go any further with that answer, and I'll leave it at that.
Commissioner Coleman and Commissioner Powell, you guys don't know what the Finders Network is?
I've later come to know that it's a entity that was set up with Secretary of State, with whether it's, I don't know if Commissioner Davis or his wife, but some connection over there, but I don't know what it is.
Yes.
So you don't feel comfortable in discussing what the Finders Network operates for?
Is that a question to me?
Yes.
I believe if you look at the Secretary of State filing, it's a marketing sales.
There was no purpose stated, so
Okay,
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
just.
I don't know. It's not.
Okay, that's interesting not to be aware. I mean, I don't think it's a difficult question.
Not to be aware of what?
What a business that is registered in your wife's name operated for,
Okay, I just answered that question.
and then you followed it up with you didn't know, so that's
Well,
why
I
that
wasn't
was.
sure exactly. You just said it wasn't given a purpose. I'm not sure.
Okay,
I
so
didn't.
that's where the I don't know came in.
Yeah.
Okay, just, we're not gonna discuss the Finders Network, is that correct?
I think I answered the question.
Okay,
Yes. Thank you.
I don't think you did, but okay.
I did.
Thank you. We are way over, and I know we have a 10:30 that we have. Once again, our online friends. I did try to answer some of that. If you notice, I did try to answer some of that after the meeting. I'll go back through and look at that and comment directly as myself, so there's no confusion that it's coming from the board or otherwise. But I think with that, if there's nothing else, no additional comments, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Hi. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.